We're back at the Marion County Area Technology Center, and we are in the Technology Education Department. And we have 3 students with us. And Ginger, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and your 3 students, if you would.
Okay. I am Ginger Allen, and I teach technology education, as well as I am one of the Project Lead the Way instructors. That is a pre-engineering program that we have here at Marion County. Here we have Brandon Morris. And he is, well, I'll let you tell them.
I'm also in Project Lead the Way and in Machine Tool.
Okay. And then we have Cody Browning beside of Mr. George.
All right, Cody, what class are you in? And go ahead and give us that.
I'm in Project Lead the Way.
Okay, and what are you looking to study?
I'm looking to study civil engineering.
Okay, and our next guest?
Grant Young.
All right, Grant, what class are you in?
I'm in Project Lead the Way and CAD/CAM CNC.
Okay. You know, Ginger, years ago when you thought about kids going into engineering, and to me it's more math and all that kind of stuff, maybe calculus, and I never got that far with maybe physics and all the things. It's a lot different now than it was years ago with the computers and everything that you guys use up here.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, whenever you say years ago, like whenever I was in high school, I didn't even know what engineering was. And so now we have our pre-engineering program where we will teach all of these kids the different aspects of engineering. You know, so we'll talk about civil and electrical and mechanical and so on. And not only are they reading blueprints, but they're drawing blueprints on the computer. They're using software programs where they will create like 3D models. We have a digital electronics program where they are soldering and creating their own circuit boards. So it's a huge change from years ago.
And now, many years ago, not when you were in school, but when I was, and you went to a college or university, most of the engineering students actually came from the Middle East, Iranian, Iraqi, Indian, all through there, and I guess were math backgrounds. But it seems in my times coming out here over the past few years, there seems to be an increase in students looking into the engineering field. Would that be accurate?
Oh, yeah, I would think definitely. And also, I think because they're now understanding what engineering is, and, you know, not all of our students will go into engineering, but they may find different aspects of the engineering program that they like and then, you know, go into the industry and work there, but build upon their skills through our program and then also going into the industry.
Okay, and I know when we were with the health sciences people a few minutes ago, Ms. Ryan said that they take students out into the field and they are getting some hands-on experience while they're here at the school. Does the same thing happen in this program? We
do, yes. And their sophomore year in high school, they have a one-day job shadow, which these guys can talk to you about. And then as in their senior year, they will go for a week-long co-op at different places. And we have a variety of local places and then like places in Bardstown and E-Town also that also help us with our.
Do they get paid on that co-op?
They do on the 1 week. They do, yes.
Well, they kind of like that. Get out of school and get paid to do something that they're learning about. Then probably.
I would think so. I think they do. Yes.
All right. And young fellow, what is your name again?
Brandon Morse.
All right. What are you studying? Where are you in the program?
Well, right now, I'm currently out of Project Lead the Way right now. I finished it last semester, and I'm in Machine Tool. And last week, I just got certified, passed the NIMS test. So.
All right. Now.
Yeah.
I'm not that smart, and a lot of our viewers aren't that smart. First of all, Project Lead the Way, what is that?
It's basically like a stepping stone into trying to figure out if you want to do engineering or not, because like Miss Allen said, nobody knew what it was a long time ago. So it's like it introduces you, and if you have an interest, it kind of sees if you want to do it or not. It's basically what it is.
Okay, so you're learning and deciding whether or not you want to be into it, but it has to be a reason that you're in the class to begin with. How did that come about?
Usually if you're like, you know, really gifted in math, and I mean, me on the other hand, I'm average in math, but I like the building part of it, and I'm really good at, you know, reading blueprints. I can do that, but you know, you have to actually be really good at math and science, and you know, but there's other things to it too, such as the reading blueprints. But if you're gifted in that, I guess you can do it.
Okay, so you're good at reading blueprints, you're good at building things. So what type of projects do you work on?
Well, there was one project I did last semester for TG Kentucky where there was a engineer named Alan, Alan Reed? Yeah. he came up here with this idea to build these boxes that were supposed to house these rubber slugs. And what it was is that they had a problem with delivering them to companies. They would deliver them and they would be faulty because they would be stuck in these tubes. So they built these boxes to put the slugs in them rather than send them in tubes. So what I did, or what CAD/CAM and Project Lead the Way, what they did is they came up with a blueprint for Alan Reed, and then they sent it to me, and we had a new ProtoTrack meal, which was automatic. Basically I could program it, and I learned how to do that, and I programmed and ran 3 different types of boxes. One box ran a smaller slug, which housed 10, and another one had the second box housed both small ones and bigger ones. They're about that much. They're about the size of a silver dollar, and then the third one was just a little bit bigger, so it housed just a little bit more of the bigger ones.
All right. So you did that. You sent it to TG Kentucky. Mm-hmm. What was the result?
From what I'm told, they loved it.
Okay. So that had to be a nice feeling, and Ginger, for you, that your students could do that. But on your end, to know that a factory here in town who probably has a lot of money and disposal to get some high-priced people to do it, that you were talented enough to do that, that had to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, which I had a lot of help too, because this is actually my first time programming those machines, and I had a lot of help. But it was fun. It was. And
Ginger, it had to be, like I say, to be able to send a student out into the real world, that has to be rewarding to you as an instructor.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a proud moment to know that these kids have learned, so much and developed the skills to be able to help with that. And we're also grateful for TG for allowing, that opportunity to happen.
All right, Ms. Ryan told us over in Health Sciences that there are several places in town that allow students to come in and do co-ops. And you said you get it from Lebanon, E-Town, Bardstown. So I guess as these industries and other businesses are looking for help in the future, the fact that you can send students to them, give some of these students a kind of a step forward in getting into the job market?
Yes, we have a few. We have one that actually has began over at Toyotomi, and this has helped with kind of leading the way into letting our kids, join the factories and work in the industry in high school as well as whenever they get out of high school.
All right, and I think anytime someone starts a new job, they're scared anyway.
Oh, most definitely.
But the fact that they've done some of the work, they're somewhat familiar maybe with the equipment and the terminology, maybe some of those fears go away or they feel a little bit more comfortable?
Oh, yeah, I think they definitely feel more confident, knowing that they've done a good job here and then built the skills to be able to move on. So, yeah, definitely confidence.
Okay. And I'm going to have to ask your name again. I'm not good at it, but give us your name. Tell us what you're studying and what experiences you've had.
My name is Cody Browning, and I'm studying the Project Lead the Way as well. Just recently, over fall break, I co-opted at the Transportation Cabinet in E-Town, and I really did like it. It was a very good hands-on experience, and it really did help me figure out what I wanted to go into my future.
All right, is that going to be civil engineering, or what part of engineering, or what is your interest?
Yes, civil.
Okay, so you want to build all these roads, bridges. What did you learn from that experience? What do you want to do?
Well, it's not really like roads and bridges. It's more like house construction and stuff like that. But the co-op, it just really helped me get an idea that civil engineering by itself is what I want to go into. It's just the specific field. Okay, so it's more widespread maybe than I would have thought. So what class are you in, and then what is your next step once you graduate here? I'm currently in the Principles of Engineering class. It's just basically an application of all engineering disciplines or that kind of stuff that you apply it to the class, and you have several different projects that you get into, and it involves a lot of math. Do you enjoy that? Is it the hands-on and normally when you go through math, it's like, okay, I'll learn it, I'll pass the test, and then I forget about it. It probably helps you when you take the concepts that you've learned and put them into practice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but the class is really fun. It's really nice to be able to learn all that and be able to take it out with you and use it in your career.
Okay, when you graduate from high school, where do you want to go at that point?
I'm not really completely decided where I want to go to college. I know that I will and plan to attend 4 years, but I'm looking at options right now and just trying to figure out where to go.
Okay, and who's your neighbor right here?
I'm Grant Young.
Okay, Grant, what do you want to do, and what are you studying here at the vocational school?
Well,
Technology Center, excuse me.
I've currently completed Project Lead the Way as far as finishing their final class, but due to some scheduling issues last year, I'm completing up my last 2 classes there, and I'm also in CAD/CAM CNC. I've completed most of the classes in that course.
All right, let's talk about CAD and CMC, because most people watching don't know what it is in lay terms. If you were just going to tell the average person what that program is and what it does, won't you explain that?
Well, CAD/CAM CNC is a computer-aided drafting. We draw off the blueprints for parts, and once you draw it up on the computer, we send it over to a program called MasterCam, and it cuts it out on the machines out in the shop. So it's simply just blueprint drawing.
Now, do you have a math background, or where do you learn to get to the point to be able to do what you're doing?
Well, there's an intro class to CAD/CAM. We start out with really simple, basic drawings, drawing a cube, sphere, stuff like that. My math background's, like Mr. Morris already said, it's average, but with Project Lead the Way, it's helped me out a lot, hands-on. There's a lot of problem solving in both classes.
Does it give you a lot of confidence when you're able, and if you're not, maybe you weren't the strongest in math, but when you can take what you've learned and figure out what to do, does it give you more confidence in doing things?
Yeah, definitely.
Have to look again. Technology Education Department at the Marion County Area Technology Center. Ginger, anything you want to add about what your students are doing?
Well, I do kind of want to plug this one thing. We had a photography contest last semester, and the library had a remake down at the high school, and I had lots of students who did a really great job of taking pictures, and they're blown up. So if you ever get a chance, go down to the library and check out the black and white pictures that are hung around the library. It's
so if I
nice.
need to learn Photoshop better than I am, you got somebody who could teach me?
Most definitely.
At a low cost?
Yeah.
I'm on a budget with Channel 6, and it's a tight one. So you could teach me
We can help you out.
All right, real quickly, do you teach them Photoshop, Lightroom, and all those programs, or what do you all use for stuff like that?
For photography, we're just doing Photoshop. That's the only program that we have. But now for our layouts, for, say, business cards and stuff like that, we use Microsoft Publisher.
Okay.
But we do a lot of things for local community members, business and stuff, as far as business cards. And Grant's getting ready to work on a T-shirt design for a local factory.
Okay.
And the photography and everything. So we do a lot of stuff also.
All right. So go to the Marion County Public Library.
No, the high school library.
Mm-hmm. And will they just let you come in and look at them?
I'm sure they would, yeah.
Okay, and check out some of the talents of the students here from the Marion County Area Technology Center. We'll be back with more students in just a moment.